Was your friend?
Okay. It is now 9 a.m. and I shall call the meeting to order and advise that this meeting is being video recorded and live streamed. I also ask that all those that are visiting us today, if you didn't do it when you came in, when you leave, please sign in so you're recorded as being at the meeting. Thank you. I ask the councillors their disclosure of interest. As there is none, we have an adoption of the agenda. We have an agenda resolution adopting the agenda with the following additions. Report number 2026.49, which is an MTO proposal, and report number 2026.50, which is the museum board vacancy. Any more additions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. First resolution we have is the resolution to approve the public meeting held on March the 10th. Motion has been made and seconded. Were there any errors or omissions? All in favor of the public meeting minutes of March the 10th? Opposed? Carried. Any discussion on any of those minutes? It's from page 11 to 17. No? Okay. Then we have a resolution approving the minutes of the council meeting held on February the 5th. I believe there has been a change on that resolution. Is that correct? Yes, there was a change on the resolution. I don't have it here, but.
It says February 25th.
February, okay. Were there any errors or omissions? All in favor of the minutes as amended? Thank you. Any discussion on those minutes, page 18 to 28? All righty, and then we have a resolution approving the minutes of the council meeting held on March the 10th. This resolution has an amendment. 5C of those meetings, resolution 97-2026, authorizing amendment to zoning bylaw for abattoir should be shown as deferred. So that has been corrected. Any other errors or omissions on those minutes of March the 10th? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Any discussion on any items, page 29 to 47? Oh, is there, Councillor Peacock?
Good morning and thank you. With regard to page 35 for the Committee of Adjustment, with regard to the church, the consent for a lot addition, just the frontage was not what was required on the application. So I'm just wondering, was that application approved with lesser frontage or?
It had the right amount of frontage for the zone and it was approved.
Okay, thank you.
Any other items for discussion? As not, we will move on to fire and emergency services. We have the minutes of the Fire and Emergency Services Officers meeting held on February the 24th, page 48 to 52. Is there any items that you would like to have any questions on or discussion with our fire chief? Is there anything the fire chief has to add to these minutes? No? Okay. All righty. Any other items other than the minutes that you would have a question for the fire chief? Okay. We have the Roslyn Village Drinking Water System, the annual report, page 53 to 82. It's some wonderful reading for everyone. This is for your information. Is there any questions or thoughts, Councillor Viss?
Yeah, just for clarification, I looked at the corrective actions. That means they're all completed. I thought that's what it meant. Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's all. So as long as it's done, I mean, that's good enough. Thank you, Chris.
Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. One further question with regard to page 58 of our agenda. The significant expenses. So it's the electrical upgrade and the turbidity sensor that are still required this year. Am I correct with that? I'm sorry. Yes. I'm correct with those?
No, through the chair, those expenses were performed already. That's the true cost. Those were capital works done in 2025.
Okay, because I see electrical in our budget for Roslyn Village Water this year, so I was just
That's
wondering.
related to the generator.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or thoughts on the report? None? Councillor Campoff?
So, any updates on the arsenic treatment system, or should I not ask?
Through the chair, it was coming up in new business. We had a meeting with all 4 parties yesterday. We have some more work to do currently.
Okay. All righty. We now have a report or resolution in regards to awarding RFQ 04-2026, the Roslyn Village East Side, which is being the recommendation that has been approved or moved and seconded in the resolution is to award this to Bruno's Contracting Limited for an upset value of $629,841.10. Is there any questions in regards to this? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. The next item we have is the awarding of RFQ 02-2026, which is the crushing, screening, stockpiling of gravel. The resolution has been moved and seconded, awarding it to the Burnt Gilbertson Enterprises Limit for an upset value of $229,695, exclusive of HST. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. The next item we have is an RFP 09-2026. It's providing information to us in regards to the fire hall bathrooms and the office vestibule project, page 87 to 88. It's open for discussion. Any questions? Yes, Councillor Viss.
Well, yes, if you go to page 88, you suggest that the staff work with the teams that put a price in and get it done, and I think we have no other choice but to do that, see where they're at. So I'm agreement with that. Let the staff work with the opponents on it.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Councillor Kamphoff?
I don't know. I'm just curious if the director of operations has any were they bidding on the same thing? Those are 2 wildly different tender amounts here.
So through the chair, for recollection purposes, last year we had 13 people at a mandatory site visit for the same style of work. We had 6 bids last year, where the range was between 34,000 and 78,000. This year with 5 locations, if you multiply that by 5, we pretty much get the same range. So, and the workload is out there. The contractors seem to be bouncing back. We didn't have nearly as much interest this time around as we did last year. So I think it's fruitful for the market, for the economy, but not so good for us. Yeah, there was a lot of there was available interpretation. We left a lot of it very generic to try to get some options, and I think the high bidder in this case provided some fancy options.
Okay, any other questions? Next item we have is a building department bylaw. It's on page 89. It's a report to correct housekeeping items that have come up since the passing of bylaw 35-2023, as well as updating the fees, which will increase as of March the 10th, I believe. The resolution has been moved and seconded and is open for discussion. Councillor Calvert.
Page 91 here, the building. Under building, that's not 15 square meters. Page 91.
It is 15 meters squared, so I can correct that. I don't see where it is, but
It's a greater than.
On B?
yeah, it's.
So that will be amended to 15 square meters. Councillor Calvert, Councillor Peacock.
Thank you. On page 97, detail and application for the renewable energy permit. we passed a bylaw in 25 and amended it was a housekeeping bylaw, so it's pertaining to now electrical generation and energy storage. I'm just wondering if that title would include that, or if that should be a separate item because it's changed in our zoning bylaw.
It includes it. Our zoning bylaw says including renewable energy.
And then the inspection for an accessory building, it was $100. It's gone up to 500. Okay. And on the top of page 105, the fees below will be increased by the consumer index for Thunder Bay annually in October. Is that to remain there as well? Okay, so these fees are good till next, like not this coming October, but the following October? Or,
Until this October.
okay, so then they'll increase again. Oh, okay. Should we hold off passing this then? We have to do it again in 6 months.
No,
You don't do it in 6 months.
Oh,
it's
Oh, okay.
automatic.
okay.
Counselor Viss.
Yeah, just two questions for, I guess, clarification more than anything else. On page 93 under general, the owner of any property does not conform to the standards by law, and also the owner of any property does not comply with confirmed order. Should that not be the proper standard committee that deals with that rather than the building inspector?
It may be, but it's from the code, so that's why it's in the bylaw,
Okay, but that would automatically switch to the,
property standards.
yeah, would it not? Because that's what it deals with, nothing to do with the building. It just doesn't conform to. Anyway, that's something there to think about. And also back on page 95 on N and P, it says proof of potable water, and you need to get someone to do that. There's still a whole lot of wells that are being dug by hand. That means they have to bring in a qualified water technician to test out your well. At one time, I think Oliver had that in, Papoons didn't. And when we joined together, that's how come I think we got this deal. I don't know if you need to have that kind of an expense on a dug well.
You still need to prove that it can pump the right capacity for the house. That's required.
Oh, yeah, I understand that's what it says here, but my point is if I dig a dug well and I pump it up myself, would you accept that as proof, or do I have to bring somebody in? See, and if I have to pay somebody to come in, do I misunderstand this?
No, that's accurate.
Counselor Campoff.
So that a master plumber could do that, couldn't they
Yep.
not? Yeah, so it's not you don't have to hire an engineer or something. It just has to be a third party. Because I know you would never tell us lies about your well, but.
The thing is, you would never build a house unless you have enough water. I
Well,
mean, that's common
you would
sense.
think
Like, we dug a lot of wells in our days over the time. Of course, we pump the thing out and then see what the recovery back is, but yeah, okay, well, we still gotta bring in a professional to do that, okay? If
Yeah,
that's what it
it's
says,
just
that's
someone
the way it
who
is.
has the license. It could be anyone.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
digger.
All right, that's the only thing is our clarification.
Counselor Campoff, did you have something? No? Okay, anything else? So we have a resolution that's been moved and seconded. Oh, pardon?
Not yet.
Not yet? As amended with that one item, 15. Yes, B, under building meaning description, it's 15 square meters. So as amended? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. NOMA 2026 conference and the AGM delegate meeting requests. We would get one via email on Tuesday, March the 24th. You have something further?
Yeah, no report was done, but I could just comment that I did submit requests to meet with certain parties.
Yes.
And I sent one to the Rural Affairs about the funding, and one to Kevin Holland, want to talk with him about the highway rerouting, as well as the infrastructure funding for the fire department. And then the last one I put in was MTO, because we want to talk with them about the Highway 1117 rerouting and widening as well. So those are the three that I had sent in.
Okay, and that is at the end of April, so you would hear any time now. Okay. Okay, next we have a deputation response to Boundary Drive. We do have a resolution in the minutes, agenda, and it has been moved and seconded, so it's open for discussion. Counselor Peacock?
Thank you. I wasn't able to attend this meeting, so is there a reason why the decision has been made when it's not going to be at a cost to our taxpayers? We've allowed other property owners to put in municipal roads at their expense. We have 2 of them on at the present time. I'm just wondering why that has not been, the same offer has not been extended to this party.
Counselor Biss?
Well, I'll reply to that because I was at that meeting for the simple reason why I said we can't go ahead with that. There's then no benefit at all to the municipality of Walter Papoose. We would have to maintain that road, and the 4 building permits that will be applied for is in Nebing, so their income would be Nebing, and there'd be nothing to the municipality of Walter Papoose.
I thought it was Nebing's responsibility to look after that portion of the road should it go through.
Unless I'm wrong, but I believe it's the area we're doing it. And then the director of operation is here. He can answer that.
We look after that portion.
Right. So if that was to change, we would have to have a new boundary agreement in regards to road maintenance. Counselor Campoff?
So the current plan is a plan by a resident of Nebing, but of course, having that road put in does offer the current landowners in Oliver Papoose the opportunity to do something similar. So it's not correct to say that there's no benefit to anybody in Oliver Papoose, but I look at it, and if the tables were the other way around, and we had someone in Oliver Papoose asking someone in a adjoining municipality to do something like this, I mean, it seems like a reasonable proposal to me. And of course, there would need to be a renegotiation of the boundary road agreement to make it fair again. But I think I'm in favor of going ahead with allowing this to go ahead.
So Calvin?
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. If Nebing is willing to maintain that road and take it over, I'm not against this proposal actually. So I'd be for it. At their expense.
Any further comment? The road, once it's built, is our responsibility, 50%, no matter what happens in the future for repairs, whatever it may be. I know you have an agreement between municipalities as to who maintains which roads, which they're boundary roads, but yeah. Yes.
If that's the case, the city isn't carrying on
Oh,
with
they
their
ne- yeah,
their
they-
50% of
No,
the,
they
Correct.
never have. No, they never do. No.
so I'm sure that Nebing would be a partner with us for sure.
Any further comment?
I
Yes,
think if we have a vote on it, I'd like to request a registered vote for
a
this.
recorded vote for this?
Or a vote, yeah.
Certainly. Any other any other comments or concerns? Anything from the Director of Operations? No, not at this time. Okay.
All right, I'll read out the names of the
Mhm.
council members. D. Calvert, for or against.
What we're voting for, like.
Well, this would mean that,
It's that big resolution.
yeah, it's in the report. It would
Yeah.
mean that we are agreeable with opening that road allowance.
Okay. I'd be for it.
Report. Bernie Campoff. Donna Peacock.
4.
Alan Viss,
Against?
Lucy Kusterhers,
Against.
passes 3-2.
We'll move forward now. The OPG Laneway property behind Clerk Street in Kekabeka Falls, report number 2026-48. And it explains what the OPG is doing in this area at the present time. And it's for our information. It's open for discussion. Councillor Campoff?
So has any of the landowners affected by this change approached the municipality with any issues about it, or just, or has it been quiet?
Wait, go ahead.
I got a call from one individual. That's it so far. I need to call them. They have wanted to discuss it, but
It wasn't a landowner there, though, or was it? Was he?
no landowner, one of the.
Yeah, okay, yes, that's right. He does own a piece there. It's their property. And they're trying to maintain
Yeah.
that so that there's no accidents.
To the chair.
Kelvin?
Yes, I went down, I actually looked at it yesterday, I think it was, and undoubtedly it's all marked out by OPG, so I don't see any issue with it. They have it, that's their property. They can basically do what they want. So other people might have been using it, but it's not their property, so I don't see any issue with it really.
Councillor Councillor Campoff.
I think it's, I mean, it's, it should be noted, it's good, it's very good of OPG to offer access to the residents there, so. I mean, they're trying to be good, good citizens and neighbors, I guess, by doing that, so.
Mhm.
But yeah, their concerns are valid, so.
They had the same concern with the road previously that went to the dam, and they shut that off to the public too because they were destroying things in that area. There's people that just don't care, and you know, they hurt everybody else that does take care. So, yes,
Well, I think legally we don't have a leg to stand on. I mean, it's their.
It's their
And
property.
they're just protecting people from getting into trouble on their property, so I have no problem with it.
okay. Any other discussion on this? Okay, then we go to report number 2026.49, which was the MTO proposal. The resolution that came forth after our agenda review in regards to road construction, municipal road construction standards. I'm sure that our Director of Operations would like to make a comment on this. He's shaking his head because he doesn't want to, but.
Through the chair, this is a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, in other words, provincial government, who's our boss, will be or federal, whichever, will be deciding what happens in our municipality. What happens if you want to make a change? You have to
So-
go and get a permit from them, or?
So high level, that's what it looks like. If you deviate from a standard that's going to be a provincial standard, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, perhaps the standard is not the same in rural areas as it is in Toronto.
Correct. Correct. This is overreach at its finest, in my opinion.
So this is something that should be commented on, or perhaps we should send a letter to the ministry indicating yes.
And this could be a good issue when we go to Noma, I guess, if we're meeting with MTO and stuff like this too.
Yeah.
Throw it at them and say like, really.
I think we should respond with some type of
Definitely.
correspondence, and it should be CC to MPP Holland as well. Yeah.
Yes, if I may, definitely, I think staff needs to address this because they have the complete understanding what it does to them and their operation. And for us, we're just on the opposite side. We put some directive in, but the detail comes from staff. So staff definitely's got to reply to this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Councillor Campoff?
So are we currently building roads to a different standard than MTO standards?
Through the chair, I would say no. We do adopt municipal OPS standard for municipalities. And again, based on our traffic volumes, when you talk about how to design a road for 600 cars a day, if they come out provincial wide, I can assume only that if you have X amount of cars, you got to do this. Well, what happens if we just trip into that threshold?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not a one standard fits all sort of scenario. We have two different standards just in the municipality, whether it's in the south or the north. I hate to say it, but there is a difference in what's below us. So
Right.
we do more granular B type material with filter cloth in the south than we do in the north. But you know, this to me looks like if we spec 6 inches of granular A underneath a surface treated road and someone says we only put 4, then you know, it all ties together. I see this as assets management. I see it at OCIF, and I see it as an oversight that they're going to be able to control some things here, which they shouldn't. I firmly believe it's oversight and it doesn't fit our style.
That's right. And I have a concern too with, for example, time frame at the present time in discussions with some of the road construction company owners. A year ago, their concern was we used to go to the office and get a consent to take our loader to a certain job. And it was, that permit was good that day or for 2 days. You got the equipment to the job and the job was done 3 weeks later. You could go get a permit to bring that piece of machinery back again. Now the process goes through the provinces. The one owner said to me, sometimes we're waiting a month and a half. Well, by that time, we needed that machine there now, not a month and a half from now. Then we can't bring it back because we have to wait another month and a half for that permit to bring it back. So we're dependent on the ministry, which is far away from here. It's not face to face anymore.
No, true. And we don't, like I say, we don't have to go very far to see two different standards. We suit the conditions. We adopt municipal standards, like all our subdivision agreements. We spec a municipal spec through Ontario provincial standards. That's the road segment we live by. And our roads, sometimes they're maybe a little bit narrower, maybe they're a little bit wider, but if you're going to make a cookie cutter approach across the province, it doesn't work. It takes the control and the timing and the cost out of the municipality's hands, and that's just not right.
And we do have some roads that don't have a lot of side. Just talked about my own road. You know, there's not a lot of room to put, you're going to have to spend all that money to widen the road just to come up to a spec that isn't required. So I think we should have some correspondence going to the ministry explaining our concern and discussion at NOMA if you get to sit with them. Okay. The next item we have is report. Whoops, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Council.
we have a resolution for that
Oh, we
to
do? Okay.
give us authority to send the comments based on this report to the Ontario Regulatory Registry.
And send a copy, please, to MPP Holland.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. So the resolution's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. The next item we have is the museum board vacancy. We have a resolution on a separate piece of report here on our desk. Unfortunately, one of our members has had to leave and we will have to put out for a replacement. It's unfortunate. She was very involved with the board. Yes, Councillor Viss.
Yes, I'm wondering, does this need to go in camera? This is the second one that has resigned in the last 6 months. Is there something going on that we should be made aware of?
This is just personal. It had nothing to do with the board at all.
Okay, as long
It
as
was
that's
time, it was a time commitment, yes.
okay, because there have been 2 in 6 months, and I thought, what's something not quite right here, maybe.
Yeah, the other
so-
one, the other one was a personal reason
Yeah.
as well, had nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to get out, personal reason, okay.
Yeah, no.
As long as it's not a major issue there that we need to look into it, then that's fine.
No. So again, we have the resolution. It's been moved in second. And any further discussion on this? We'll put it out. Hopefully we'll have a very interested person coming on the board again. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And we have no reports of committees. We have our bylaws. Resolution, this bylaw has been moved and seconded in regards to the 2026 building bylaw. Any discussion? Councillor Peacock, yes.
Just one further comment I had when we were discussing this further, or earlier rather. I had questioned the cost of a building permit for the wind towers. And I had a look online and some of them are of the building permits for wind towers that are being put up now could be a different size, but they're $1 million per permit. So if that's the case and we end up with some up here that could be very profitable for our municipality.
Mm-hmm. Councillor Viss?
Well, just, and this really, it does not pertain to it, but earlier on in the year, we discussed the storage bins and the empty trailers that are all now being used for storage in the storage places, and they are collecting an income, and we get absolutely nothing but a junkyard, and that's, and the discussion that staff at that time said, we'll put on the pending list. So that definitely will be addressed and then come into effect with this building permit, right?
Those things are not buildings like sea cans just sitting on the ground. That's the issue with it. If we're going to try to regulate that, maybe do it through the zoning bylaw or the property standards, you'd have to go that route. Ontario Building Code doesn't call them structures, but some municipalities have said that they are structures, so it's something we need to go through.
Well,
We do.
if I just may, I find that very interesting. If it's not a structure, so if it's not a structure, you shouldn't be able to use it for storage.
Well,
Right? I mean, it's one or the other. I think we need to really spend some time and trying to see if we can incorporate that in here. I'm not saying tomorrow, but I mean, work away at that because you get so many now, they're all over the place. It's sad to see all that, okay? That's just a point.
Yeah, Councillor Peacock?
I was just wondering with regard to that, sea cans, it's all the trailers that are, they still have wheels under them, but they're stacked up in everybody's yard. Is that just storage as such? You know, just for parking purposes, or how do you regulate that as well?
Okay, it's just food for thought. This is the building bylaw permit cost. Any further discussion? It's been moved and seconded, the bylaw, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. And then we have contract RFQ 04-2026, which is the road construction on Roslyn Village east side. The resolution has, the bylaw has been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Councillor Peacock?
Thank you. Just wondering if the treasurer has any thoughts on either of these. We haven't heard from him today, so.
On the thoughts?
Mhm.
Well, they brought forth the successful contractor and we passed the resolution, so.
No, I have no concerns about,
We include you, that's all.
it's okay.
So we have the bylaw, it's been moved and seconded, all in favor? Opposed? It's been moved. And then we have contract RFQ 02-2026, which is the crushing, screening, stockpiling of gravel. This is the bylaw to prove the authorize that Brent Gilbertson Enterprises gets this project, and it's open for discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And then we have petitions and communications action items. We have the school bus safety and stop arm camera systems. This came forth at our last meeting, and at that time, council decided they would like to pass a resolution in regards to this item. So the motion has been made and seconded. It's open for discussion. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. The next item is the Quebec Falls Legion Week, June 8th to 14th. There was a resolution in regards to claiming the week of June 8th to 14th as a very special week for the region, or for the Dominion of the Royal Canadian Legion, as it's their 100th anniversary. And we have a resolution, a rather lengthy one, but a resolution in regards to that acclamation for that week. It's open for discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And let us not forget that they're looking for something from us to put into the time capsule. So. And then we have petitions and communications for information only, which was the shift for March 2026. Noma's 100th Northern Avenue death in the first 3 months of 2026. Noma's call for federal partnership to strengthen the highways. The DSAB newsletter, the regional council decision in regards to circular materials in Ontario. Yes, Councillor Peacock?
I'm just wondering if we have a comment with regard to that circular materials. Are we having any issues with pickups and that program at all?
Through the chair, since this whole program started off, we've had nothing but issues, so.
So is this a resolution we should perhaps support or have it brought back?
Through the chair, we reach out to our service provider. I don't believe the resolution speaks to day-to-day operational issues. I think it's just an overall encompassing thing. But it's something we're stuck with, and then the day-to-day operations we deal with.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And then we have NOMA's a notice of annual general meeting on March the 13th. Yes. Oh, sorry, Councillor, yes.
You went way past me so quick. I just wanted to
Joyce.
come back to Noma, just bring it to your attention, page 150. I'm a little disappointed that Noma is really pushing through secondary east-west highway connecting north of Lake Nipigon. We are working our butts off to try and get from city to Chappaqua. And now Noma's taking, okay, we want to do that over there. They've already got 4-lane going to Nipigon. I thought they're undermining us. I was disappointed when I seen that. I don't know if we need to address that or not, but I don't think that was nice for them to do that. They did not think of Oliver Papoons or Conmy or anybody else.
Yeah.
And so I was a little disappointed when I seen that.
Yeah.
Because there's only so many dollars for Northern Ontario, and so.
That's right. Okay.
But just on Nipigon Bridge, just on the other side, they want to go around that, yes, they want to go around north, they want to go around that bridge, because that bridge is the only thing. But we only got one highway too, you see?
But to me, that's a real, like, that's north of Lake Nipigon, so that would be where the current, the CN rail line runs, like through Armstrong. Like, that's a long ways, that's hundreds of kilometers of highway through the swamp, so
That's
I
right.
guess they put a railway there, so.
But Bernie, it's, such a route would provide a
Oh, yeah.
critical alternative connection around the Nipigon Bridge.
Yep. No, that, and there's, but I'm kind of shocked that they pushed that
I know.
idea,
It
but
doesn't make any sense to go
Well,
that
it's not
far.
wasn't
north.
quite fair when we're working so hard on so many years on trying to get something. They know that we were working on that. And just a comment, I just thought it was, I didn't appreciate
I,
that.
Councillor Calvert?
I think that their point was when the bridge did go down, that there was no other, you had to go through the states. So they're just looking at an alternative way. And if something catastrophe happened to that bridge,
Something
no
happens,
other
if something
way
happens,
around,
yeah, if something happens to the Kekabeka Bridge, we'll all be going down Highway 102.
but there's still an alternative way. There's no alternative way.
That's
But
right.
there isn't, if the Sunshine Bridge goes down, you're done.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That's right.
They're completely done. So that's my point. You see, we have an issue here, and that's why we're working
Yeah.
on it. And then they come up now as a group, NOMA, to do that. So it's much my point.
I don't think it will go too far.
No, it's,
You'd think they would have followed the Wasagan transmission line, that they've already cut that.
Okay, anything further to that one? No, sorry. And then the Thunder Bay District Municipal League, thank you letter for our sponsorship at their annual general meeting. And then a request for provincial legislation amendments, health and safety concerns from the Township of Oro Mendonte and OPP Sustainable Police Services Funding. Alto High Speed Rail Project, which is Bill C-15 in the budget, Emergency Preparedness Week for 2026, Protecting Local Voice in Public Education, and request for provincial consultation and transparency. Yes, Councillor, go ahead. Wayne.
There's something I need to bring up with regard to going ahead with opening Boundary Drive. I'm looking at that resolution and the decision from meeting, and it doesn't clearly state who's paying for it. So we may want to put in the resolution that we passed, provided that there's no cost to the municipality.
Yes.
Well, under new business, I was going to bring that up. Nothing happened to that till we have a satisfactory agreement between our director of operation and Neben, who's going to do this road. We're not just going to say tomorrow you open that road. That agreement better be in place, because that's what stated, that we would have agreement with Neben. So that needs to be in there. If there's no agreement with Neben, then it doesn't happen. That's the way I understand it.
Is it the same subject? Yeah.
Yeah, through the chair, the original resolution that came from Nebing, when they asked for the deputation, states that it will be negotiated into the boundary road agreement. So as I said, here in the meeting, we do that corner currently. So I think they're not gonna run a plow truck 9 kilometers away without having that agreement opened up.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be costs incurred if we keep it from the maintenance perspective. And as you said, the long-term longevity of the road would be
It's forever.
a budget item thereafter, split 50-50.
What I'm, should have clarified, what I mean is construction cost. We don't want to be paying for surveying or building a road or any of that stuff. I would think.
That's my agreement.
So we cannot alter that resolution. It's been passed, but we should have another one
Yeah.
that comes forth that's for approval by this council with those items in there.
Now would be good.
It would be good, yes. If you have a resolution, we'll let you go forth with.
Yeah.
Just the last line on page 111 says, and added to the municipal road system. So, no conveyance is finalized until the road is fully opened and added to the municipal road system.
Yes. It's going to be both of ours.
But the letter came from Nebing, so
Yeah, but if it's 50% in our municipality, it's part of our road system, and the cost in the future, we'll be paying for it if there's houses south of it or not,
Through the
north.
through the chair, through the chair, Wayne, what is the maybe Carrie can answer. What's the caveat on that piece of road that they want to open? It's jointly owned?
It is jointly owned.
Jointly owned, right across the whole width, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like this is ours and that's
No.
theirs. It's jointly
Jointly owned,
Oh,
so
big
we'll
difference.
be paying the costs on one way or the other, we will be paying for some of that cost. Today, the future, once the road breaks up, still 50% our road. Okay, so we'll have our CAO here is writing
Yeah.
a resolution, so just,
Mayor Lucia, before you leave, then on page 175, that one from Leah Vanderway from the chair of the Board of Education, I think we need to support that. She's asking that we strongly support the government pause on this issue. So I think we should support that. I think we need to have our school board.
okay. So let count, yes, Councillor Peacock?
thank you. As we're just hold up here for a moment. The resolution from Oro Medonte with regard to health and safety concerns. Just wondering, is that something that has been addressed here already, or is it something that we should be of concern with? It's, I'm sorry, 164.
We have basically are doing that. We are changing the entrance in this building so that at least these employees are protected.
Through the chair, I think the resolution from Medonte speaks mostly to the frontline workers out in the roads, if I'm
Right.
not mistaken. I
Yeah.
did high gloss that over. And also, I believe there's one from AORS that speaks to that as well in your package.
It's the same one.
It's the same one. They should both be endorsed because it is relevant to what we do every day.
Can it be brought back to us at our next meeting for that? We will do that. We will endorse them. We can also, again, have something come through for the board of, for the school, the Bowles School Board, and have that come to us, a resolution for the next meeting. Okay, thank you. We will do that. Yes, Councillor Peacock.
I don't know if we got this far yet. Page 174. With regard to emergency management and prepared today for the Emergency Preparedness Week. In the past, we've had material out in our foyer for the public, and just wondering if there is still that material or if we need to, perhaps the province has some others that could be provided, because that stuff was rather old. Perhaps the fire chief has an idea on that one?
Yeah, we try to keep the material up front, current, and this just came out with new material, and I look at ordering and getting material to put out front. It is, we also do put it in our newsletter
Mhm.
for things, so.
Okay,
And perhaps if there's extra, they could be provided to our library as well? Libraries, sorry.
libraries, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, was there, okay,
Ju-
there,
I have one more before we get to that, if you don't mind, on page 160, circle material. How is it working here? Are we fairly we bring it in? Is that what you're saying? Nothing? See, the problem is with this is you see it says only clean material, and that's where you get into trouble, like how much clean material is there? And I know some of the stuff from the farm, you don't want to have that in there, so we wrap it up. At one time, we used to burn it all. And now we just roll it all up and get rid of it because you can't put that in here. The smell would be awful. And so, so anyway, so that answers my question.
Councillor Campo?
So, yeah, we're kind of bouncing around a little bit
Yes.
here. I've just a comment on the item on page 175 and 176 with regard to the school board. Some of my fellow council members would remember perhaps a time probably 10 or 12 years ago around this council table where a council member, unfortunately not here anymore, was interested in getting some answers from the school board about how their budgets were done. And we sought to get information from them,
Got
and
nothing.
they very rudely ignored us and basically told us that it was none of our business. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, so I'm not really in the mood even now with all the time passing. I mean, we've never seen anything from school boards until suddenly, yeah, like it's then that was the take on it. Was the counselor at the time was, we're spending all this, or we're not spending, but we send all this money, we collect all this money for the school boards. Like, we maybe have them give us a short report on how their money gets spent, how their decisions are made. And no, that's not our mandate. We're not going to talk to you guys. Go away. So, yeah. Anyhow,
So I know
that's
there
my
was,
comment.
I remember that time, and there was a bit of unhappiness at the table here because DSAB, you get your reports, you get their financial papers, the Conservation Authority, you get their budget every year, and we got nothing from the Board of Ed.
Representation on the
Yes.
school board through just.
Well, and we did a few years back lose our rural one because they amalgamated into just one election, not a separate one for the rural. And although I know that we have rural people on there now, we did lose that ability to have someone from the rural area on the board, just dedicated to the rural area. So yes, Councillor Peacock and then Councillor Viss.
I'm just wondering if the province is looking at pushing this through being an election year, if this would, not have this opportunity to vote for people on a school board, if it's not an option on a ballot. So, just a comment, that's all.
Councillor Viss.
Well, the only reason I say we support it, if anybody's following the news at all, Ford has taken over a couple of school boards now because they don't like the way they were operating. Then I think back in Thunder Bay here in our area, years back, they were going to amalgamate a whole bunch of schools and close a whole bunch. So if they lose control of this, would any of the rural schools like Morello or Valley Center or any of those, they can decide to close them up. We'd have no input into it. And that's why I said we should have a school board in this area just to protect ourselves. So it's the reason I thought, because they'd worked on that before they were going to close it. And because there was enough opposition, they left them the way they were.
And now they're full.
Yeah, they are.
Those schools are full.
And it continues to grow in the rural area for local municipality. So anyway, that's the reason why I thought we should support that and make sure we keep because we support the conservation. And we're going to say, oh, but education doesn't mean as much as conservation. It's okay if they're trying to decide who should open and who close. That's just my point.
Well, and it is something that can come back to us at our next meeting. We'll have 2 weeks or whatever to think about this,
That's
and we
correct,
can discuss
sure.
it then.
And whatever, the majority votes, that's how it goes.
Yes. Okay, any further on those, any of those items that I read off quickly? So new business. Oh, council. Oh, the resolution, I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Yeah, in a perfect world, I think we would have a resolution that we just passed, rescinded, and have it and this at the bottom. But to save time here, we will just pass this one, and maybe we'll need to finagle it more later. But I think it's important to get the message across today about who's paying for the construction. So I've got, with respect to report 2026.47, council will only agree to pass a bylaw to open the unopened road allowance east of Boundary Drive noted in meeting application B02-2026, provided that the municipality bears no cost for the surveying, construction, or other activities required to open the unopened road allowance be approved.
Could we put open and maintain?
Yeah. that
I-
would be painted.
That's where I think it's getting a little difficult to do, because if we're saying this is a new piece of road, the routes are gonna change, and I don't know how it's all gonna turn out. It's kind of complicated. I think,
No, yeah, what I'm, in my mind, I'm thinking is you've got a section of road. I don't know if the north part will ever be developed into lots, but in the meantime, the road gets older. Every 3 to 5 years, you have to put some work into it. We're gonna end up paying 50% of that cost, even though we're getting no income from any lots adjacent to that road. That's what I'm thinking of, is that, you know, we're gonna be paying for 50% of the cost if they like it or not, if we like it or not. Yes.
How does that, like, Nebing isn't gonna send us a bill for half of the road maintenance? Like, how do we don't do that with the city? We don't do
We
it
do
with,
that with MTO through the chair, any portions across our boundary. We do revenue to the MTO on our north limit of the municipality, and we have specified routes, road segments with operational constraints on each one. They do this on this portion. The same agreement in the boundary agreement with Nipping stipulates any bridge construct, because there's bridges on our boundary roads.
Yes,
They have to come to us with cost, and we have to agree to it before they put any work.
that's right. It's
They
good.
take the lead, and the bridges are in their segments that they maintain. But even though one side of the road's ours and one side of the road's theirs, this would be have to fashion from a maintenance perspective. I don't see how they're gonna come 4 kilometers away to plow this short
No.
little section. They're gonna wanna put it on us, and we need to recognize that that costs us money and time.
So that would be part of your agreement. You would address that in the
And
agreement.
to Wayne's point, this is the cumbersome part. The costs, I think, are specified with the resolution you guys are gonna pass here, that we have no cost to open the road. The maintenance component, which as I showed, addressed in their application, said it'd be somehow adapted into the existing service agreement we have with them.
That's right.
So that is cumbersome to put in the resolution, but they have identified it in their application.
Okay, so that will be dealt with at the time of the agreement. Okay, we'll leave that out then. So we have this resolution that has to be moved and seconded. We pass it along there. And I do believe that we would be nice enough to send a copy of that to Nebing today or tomorrow, so they know.
this is chicken scratch.
Well, it was read.
Yeah, I know. Oops, sorry. Should we put now and in the future? You know, like, I don't know how you,
Yeah, well, that is the
Yeah.
construction, and as noted, that would go into the agreement, the future. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
would a copy go to the applicant as well or not? Or leave that up to Nebing?
The application went to Nebing, so that's it's their road. Okay, we have now new business. I will start with Councillor Calvert.
Only thing, I had an interesting phone call from a resident. He's building over actually in Gorman Ware. And he said he had heard, I know it's a rumor, that Gorman Ware was starting to be amalgamated with all of these. And I informed him that no such thing was happening to my knowledge. I just put his mind at ease, build over there, we're not joining them. Just kind of a weird phone call.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe he likes Oliver Papou so
Yeah.
much, he wants us to.
And he's a resident as well with the Pooch.
Wants us to take it.
Anyway, that's the only bad.
Yes.
Build up there.
Counselor Viss?
No,
Nothing? Counselor Kemphoff?
Nothing other than same topic. I've seen some stuff on Facebook that talks about the way we're doing things for our own personal benefit and all this other nonsense. How we're trying to take over North. Yeah, that's the board, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's social. Cesspool that it is.
No.
Great job, please, will explain.
Yes, yes. Counselor Peacock?
Perhaps just a question for the CAO, cemetery board meeting. Do we have any date proposed on that? As well as Agriplex people?
I think it would have been chosen last year, I'm pretty sure it was. And it should be mid-May. I don't know offhand what
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
All right, you could keep me posted on that. Is there an update on the highway? Whatever MTO's thinking about doing?
No.
Nothing?
Not at this time.
Okay, half loads are on?
Yeah.
Great, and why? And have we heard anything about the Whitewater system
No.
takeover?
No,
Nothing?
not at this moment.
Still, eh? Okay.
Okay.
Great, thank you,
Okay.
and happy Easter.
I have one item with Sean, if I may. I'm not going to put him on, but it's just something, since our last meeting, I've had a few people ask me questions about the how the board or unit was set up that just got these job descriptions and titles. Can you tell me who was involved? Because one person did say it was all your work, and I thank you for doing it, but I know you didn't do it all on your own. So if you could just, for the public that's listening and council, kind of tell us what consisted of that group of people that
Yeah.
did this.
Sure. So when council directed to restructure the department,
Have you got your green light, your light on? So,
Yeah, it's on.
okay, thank you.
at that time, I put out to the entire officers group looking for interest in being part of a working group to look at the restructure. And I got all of the officers with the exception of 3 were part of it. 2 officers did not respond to being part of the working group. One of the officers did attend one meeting and then chose not to attend any more of them. So it was put out to the officers group asking to be part of it. I did not put it out to the public or to the entire membership of the department, just given the scope and to keep it into a working group size. So that's how it came about.
And they, as a group, are the ones that looked at the job descriptions and what job would do what, the tasks for every title.
That's right. So in the report, it was very high level, but basically what we did was we looked at all of the tasks. I call it task summary. So look at all the items that we should be doing as a fire department. What we are doing, should be doing and not doing. And then from there, we put them into positions and started moving, positions around through an org chart to come up with the final product that we put through to council.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Is there any other new business from administration? Anything to be brought forward? No, okay. We will now resolve into closed session. I have a resolution moved and seconded that we resolve into closed session, the time being 9:58 a.m. And we will have a 5-minute break.